Yeah, I think our efforts. More off most of the time we turn up with good effort. I can't fault that. 3 tries apiece, considering what we did to ourselves in the first half, probably shows the effort and contribution we made. We just got some couple of blokes making too many fundamental errors which stops you from being, instead of being a good first grade team, you're an okay one. And we've still got those, that odd defensive laps. We had a couple of blokes had a one-on-one miss on the try line in the first half when we'd actually handle a lot of pressure, and I thought we'd handle it pretty comfortably, and just 1 or 2 one-on-one misses, and they're all improving players, but to get to that next level, we need to add a few players. There's no doubt about that, and we need a few players just to step up a touch more.
Aidan, was the wind an issue out there because there were a lot of kicks going wrong in that first half?
Yeah, I think it's pretty evident 2 out on the full, and then even in the second half when they had the wind behind them, they were kicking it dead. It's a quick track here, and that's why we love it. But you just got to be careful when the breeze is behind you, I think. And when you're trying to start a game off, that usually makes it pretty hard when you're giving it to them on the 50-metre line.
Brownie, were you happy with how Kalen appeared to take control when Mitch went off the field?
Yeah, look, I suppose he sort of showed in the Origin what he can probably do as a first receiver. He's played a lot more a bit of first receiver down short sides and a bit more second receiver for us. But the great thing is he wants the ball, and you want your best players to want the ball basically, and he certainly wants it, which is great. And as a club and a group, the fact that we're not fortunately getting them all to play together, we probably don't use our personnel as good as we could at different stages, and that's not anyone's fault. It's just that they unfortunately haven't got to play together much. So, but as time goes on, we're not a bad footy team at the moment. We're sort of on the ladder where we are for reasons, and but we're not far away from being a good team. And we've got some things we can control a little bit better ourselves, and probably a few things that with what we've got coming in can help fix some problems as well. But we're not a long way away from being a good team. We're certainly a far better team than we were last year, but to get to where we want to get to, we need just a little bit of more individual improvement and a few more additions.
How's Mitch?
He's just got a real nasty cork, so how he's going to be for next week's game, I couldn't honestly tell you with plane fights and that sort of stuff, but they were pretty confident that he wasn't going to be able to run, but Mitch wanted to have a shot at it and didn't work out so well.
Randy, what do you put the first half down to?
Look, Baz, just some basic fundamental errors. That's all it was, and I'm not going to don't want to single anyone out. It's not the time and place, but there's 1 or 2 guys there that'll know where they come up short, and off the back of that, they get a couple of repeat sets, and they had a lot of possession on us. So when we got to get back to, I think it was 6-4 or 10-4 or whatever it was, and we finally started to swing the momentum, and then we dropped the ball from the kickoff again, and then the cycle started again. So we just never build any momentum or build any pressure, and then in the second half, when we actually started to build a little bit of pressure off the back of everything that had gone against us, we lost arguably our most important player, and then we got within striking distance of winning the game. And that, hopefully there's a lesson in that for some of the players, but we can't consistently carry blokes that turn the ball over, and it makes the game too hard. People that don't get the fundamentals right and ill discipline, it just makes the game so difficult.
PC in any doubt for next week?
I couldn't honestly tell you, Rob, but I'd probably have to say that the fact it was a real nasty one and we've got a plane flight, that doesn't help. So we'd probably have to say, I wouldn't say he's 100% certain. Anyway, I suppose we'll know a little bit more in the next few days, but our strike rate with those key players hasn't been so flash. So, but hopefully we can get him on the park. We'll sort of like to get them all playing together if we could.
If he was out, would I suppose Connor might be back, but what about someone like Brock Lamb? Would they come into the frame?
Well, I've only seen half a reserve grade, and so I haven't seen enough of that one yet to see if Brock's earned a right to play first grade again, and we're not in the business of giving away first grade jumpers anymore at this club. So whether he played well enough, I don't know. They had a good win though, so which is great. Yeah, so I'd have to check that out, and I don't think Connor will be fit. So if Mitch is not playing, we'll certainly be looking for something there.
Did you look at Caleb Friday?
He's picking the team, these people. Oh look,
I'll play 5,
Dossel, there you go. Yeah, look, well, these are things that can be discussed, I suppose. Nick's done well when he's come up. He was a bit off in the first half today, but his first grade game from 1 to 2 was a lot better. And look, there's numbers of things we can look at, but we'll have to probably just wait and see. First of all, we'll see how Mitch is over the next couple of days.
Did you see anything from JJ that you liked?
Yeah, I thought his contribution was good. It was only a shorter stint, and he only hasn't been here long, but he's certainly, along with Hino, they certainly give us some momentum through the middle part of the field. Yeah, so no, with his first game for us, as I said, he didn't play a lot of minutes, but next week, probably look like we'll give him another game and give him a bit more time. But I certainly think he deserves a tick to start with.
Anyone else come back then next week, do you reckon?
Probably doubtful there, Rob, I'd say, mate. Yeah, probably doubtful from what I understand. Them, I'm not 100% sure, but at this stage, I'd say we're a bit doubtful.
And the club's got a pretty ordinary record over in Auckland, so what do you sort of do to head over there early or whatever and prepare?
Oh, look, we're going over there as I think most clubs do. We're going over a couple of days before. We'll have a trainer run there, and I'd like to think that the fact that I think we're seeing consistently good effort, I'd like to think we're sort of making some real progress as a club. So our effort, and that's going well. So hopefully that's a starting point for us, and we'll train as normal. And I'd like to think some of the senior players we've got in now have obviously been over and done very well there in the past. And I'd like to think, as I said before, some of our younger players are certainly growing. We need them to grow a bit more, but they're certainly growing. So in and around there, somewhere I'd expect us to put in a reasonable performance against a side who is obviously appearing to be a pretty fair side.
Is Caleb's ankle better now than it was this time last?
I believe so, Baz, from what these medical and high performance people tell me. Yeah, they tell me it is, so it's all I can rely on. But look, he apparently was better than what he was this time last week, and we don't have a flight early in the week, so he can really work hard on it. But unfortunately, he hasn't really trained for 5 or 6 weeks now. And being a younger athlete, he's so much more development in his game, and so that's certainly not helping us or him at the moment. But as we saw today, though, the good thing is there's one thing going on the field injured. There's nothing in playing when you're injured, and he certainly still wants the ball, and he certainly can still contribute to the team. Which is a real tick for him going forward. That being able to play with injury is hard for younger players at times, but he seems to pick that up pretty quick, which is good.
Aidan, your try, you must have thought at that stage that you guys were coming home pretty strong.
Yeah, you could feel it. I think, as you said, the 2 young halves took control of the game and got good ball off Danny as well, and the flow of the game started going with us down in that good ball area. Obviously, got a couple of tries there, and you could just sense that we had the wind in our sails, and then defensive lapse, and then they were out of their trouble. They were out of trouble. They were putting pressure on us down our end. That's the way it goes. Sometimes a couple of probably sets didn't finish the way we wanted to, and that released the pressure that we were starting to put on them, and you could almost see the Tigers take a sigh of relief when that came along for them. But as I think the way that we got control of the game, we had no right really to be in that game at the end. Obviously disappointing that we couldn't come up with it, but the signs there and the efforts are there, and the football's certainly in us. So we'll just keep moving forward and try and do a better first half and a better second half next week.